Good morning. I'm Reverend Judy Anderson, and it is my privilege, my joy, to welcome you here this morning, whether you're here in the seats of our sanctuary or whether you're at your kitchen table. Welcome, and thank you for joining your energy with the center. Your energy, our energy shared is what makes it special. So thank you, and to begin, let's read our opening affirmation together. The August affirmation is on a blue sheet in your program. Today is rich in promise, the promise of Spirit pouring itself into my life as the one life that is all. I am within it, and it is within me, ready to respond to my thought. As I choose thoughts of health, joy, and prosperity, they become my reality, and so it is. Then let's talk. We've just got an announcement or two. Oh, we have a bingo coming up on Wednesday. If there's any chance you can help work the bingo, call Marianne Lee, and her number is 403-307-5874. I'll give you that number again, so if you need to pick up a pen to write it down, it's 403-307-5874, and it's Mary Ann Lee. Bless her for taking care of our summer bingos before she goes back south for the winter. So thank you for that. And on Wednesday nights at 7:15, I'm doing what I call the Summer Mastermind Clinic. And it's really aimed at helping you, if you choose to come, to learn how to do a mastermind group of your own. And if you can't come on Wednesday nights, but if you would like the instructions, it's a simple one page, front and back, and it'll give you the information. But I'd love to see you here on Wednesday at 7:15. And you don't have to come to all of them. We have only 3 left now, I guess. But it's a matter of come to one of them or come to all of them, whatever works for you. So 7:15 on Wednesday. And now we'll go to our growing spirit circle. The word for the day is respect. So we have one very young lady with us, and her name is Madonna. And do you know what respect means, Madonna? I bet you do. Well, do you want me to tell you? Wonderful. Thank you, Madonna. And our material says that a good way to practice respect is to think about how you would like to be treated and to treat others that way. Being respectful is expressing even your strongest feelings in a peaceful way, speaking quietly and courteously. Practicing self-respect is treating yourself as you feel others deserve to be treated. You deserve it too. And the affirmation, I treat others and myself as we deserve to be treated. So together, I treat others and myself as we deserve to be treated. And we have someone special here today. Brent, will you come up here and let people see you? Now, turn around and wave at the camera. Now, Brent is one of our longtime members, but he's been away for 7 years, and he's back with us today, and I'm really glad. And he gives the most wonderful hugs.
Hey, Reverend Judy.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Free hugs always.
Free hugs always. And he has such an air of peace and tranquility about him. It might have something to do with spending a lot of time on Salt Spring Island, but welcome back, Brent. And with that, it is my pleasure now to introduce our guest speaker, Reverend Val Benedict. And Reverend Val has been a staff minister at Reverend Tim's Center in Edmonton. She is the senior minister at Lake Havasu Center in Arizona.
Yes.
Yes. Not, I think of Nevada and Arizona kind of together, but it's Arizona. And she has a very special little dog. And I didn't ask her permission to share his name. The beautiful little puppy's name is Ernest Holmes, or Ernest H. And if you ask her after the service, I'm sure she'd be willing to show you a picture. He's a sweet little fellow, and maybe he has the wisdom of an Ernest Holmes. But without further ado, Reverend Val to speak to us about a pause for
Faithfulness.
Yes, all right.
Yes.
Thank you, Reverend Val.
Thank you, Reverend Judy. To get us grounded here, I'm going to ask you just to take 3 deep breaths with me, and then I'll do an opening treatment. So join with me in taking a deep breath. So as we are in this space together, knowing that that one divine power and presence is right here, right now, flowing through each one of us with grace and ease and joy and pleasure, just enlightening us with that essence of it. And I know that today, as we are together, it is by divine intention. We are here on purpose, with purpose. And I know that everyone will go away from this center with that renewed sense of who and what and whose they are. And I am so grateful to be here in this community, this beautiful community of Red Deer, knowing that I am here by divine intention. And I just simply say thank you, God. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for these beautiful souls that are right here, right now. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. I release, I let go, I let God. And together we anchor this truth by saying, and so it is. So the talk today is on taking time. This month the theme is a pause for guidance. And today is for a playful pause. How many of you have ever been with someone and laughed so hard your stomach hurt, or that you cried? How often do you do that? We get carried away in this busy time, or we think we're busy, of thinking too seriously about ourselves. Even in most religions, they tell you, don't think so seriously about yourself. You know, you're important, but you need to take yourself lighter. So in her book, Giving God a Good Time, Dr. Pat Campbell from the Calgary Center, she starts it out by saying, you are here to give God a good time. I'm here to give God a good time. We're all here to give God a good time. And no, it's not I don't mean a come on up and see me good time. I mean a living life to your fullest good time. Because each one of us is entitled to that good life. Each one of us are entitled to a full life, a healthy life, and a happy life. And it's that our responsibility as spiritual beings having a human experience to enjoy ourselves. So you see, God has this experience of life on earth through us, through all living things. And if you don't think that God has a sense of humor, just look around you. The creations that have happened on this earth are amusing, to say the least, and things that happen. Pretty well any day you can look and you can go, interesting. That's a very humorous way to express that. So the month of August is to give us that pause for guidance, rest, rejuvenation, and prepare for the next leg of our journey. And we welcome the joy, innovation, authenticity, vulnerability, and the opportunity to evolve our thinking. Today, the topic's context is to experience divine joy through creativity and relaxation, and discovering ways to allow spirit to play through you as you. So I heard a joke yesterday. This magician was on a ship doing magic shows for the people on the cruise. But the captain's parrot would sit on every practice and every show, and he would tell people what was going to happen. And he would tell on him, and he would say, "Oh, it's up his sleeve. He's got it in his pocket. It's over there in the box." So the magician went to the captain and he said, "Can you get your parrot to just be quiet and not tell everybody everything?" The captain says, "It's my ship, my parrot. He can do whatever he wants." So that night, the ship sank. There was a horrible storm. The ship sank. The only survivors were the magician and the parrot. So they're on this raft for 4 days, and the parrot would not talk to the magician. He was dead silent. So finally the magician got mad, and he says, "What's wrong with you? You talk nonstop, and now you won't talk to me. 4 days you haven't talked to me." The parrot looked him up and down. He says, "Yeah, okay." He says, "I give up. What did you do with the ship?" So it's a little, I thought it was kind of cute. So the science of mind teaches us that the oneness of the mind. It's that oneness of us all. And it means that totality of the human experience is that spirit. I like the saying that I'm 100% spirit, and spirit is 100% plus of me. So that includes and embraces the idea of playing. And being that important part of our lives is to play, to express your life in that joy. Children don't stop to say, "Oh, am I playing too much? Am I playing too hard?" They just play until they stop. And that's been one really good thing. I just moved back. I moved to Calgary to be closer to my kids and my grandson. So we have a date every week, my grandson and I. It's been absolutely fantastic for me because I realized that probably for the last 10 years, I forgot how to play, or I didn't take the time. So every week we go to a different playground. And boy, we learn to play. And he just goes. He's 3 years old now, almost 3 years old, and he just goes, and then he crashes, and Grandma crashes too. So it's one of those things, but it's been really, really good for me to watch that, to see that he doesn't say, put a limit on himself. He doesn't say, "Oh, I'm being too playful, I need to be more serious now." In many shamanic societies especially, when you go for a spiritual counseling with your shaman, or you're complaining about something, the first thing they'll ask you is, when did you stop dancing? When did you stop playing? When did you stop singing? When did you stop being enchanted by stories and by things that are happening in the world? And when did you stop believing in miracles and magic? I know that's one of the things I have to stop and ask myself now and then. When did I stop it? I was telling them I went out dancing on Friday night. I haven't been out dancing probably for 8 years. I used to dance 5 to 6 days a week. And all of a sudden, I don't know why I stopped. I was in ministerial training. I'm thinking I just got out of my body and into my head too much and quit playing, quit dancing. But it sure felt good to get out and dance and listen to live music and spend time with people, just in a positive thing. So play is the exuberant expression of our being, and it's at the heart of our creativity, our sexuality, and most carefree moments of our devotion. It helps us live with that absurdity, that paradox and mystery. It feeds our joy and wonder and keeps our searching for meaning in life down to earth. And today, with all the things that are happening, all the what they call terrorism and disasters and broken relationships and global warming and any other stressor you want to put in there, a spirituality of play may seem like a curious matter. I was talking to someone the other day, and I was telling him what our belief system was in our teaching. And he said, "Oh no, that's not the real world." I said, "Well, perhaps you're living not in the real world and I am." And he said, no. He says, "I've been shot at, I've been stabbed, he says, "That's not the real world." I said, "Well, perhaps you need better friends. Because if that's what they're doing to you, then I'd be ditching those friends and looking for somebody that wasn't shooting at me, number one. I don't like guns, so don't shoot at me, please." So that's how we've become. The more we're judged on how productive are you? How much money do you make? And our productivity falls right in line with that. Instead of saying, how happy are you? How much fun are you having in this world that you're living in, where you got to work harder? And how many people sit down to watch TV and go, "Geez, I'm wasting time. I feel like I should be doing something," instead of sitting down and enjoying the moment. And it's become a habit that society is expressing itself by. I think I've always said since the beginning of COVID, it's here to teach us something. And for myself, it taught me to be okay with doing nothing. Going from my bedroom to the living room, maybe to the kitchen to get a snack. Well, probably to the kitchen to get a snack. Because when you're bored, what do? You eat. What a great excuse. I can't go anywhere. I get to eat all I want now. So it taught me that I'm okay with sitting and doing nothing. Or I'm okay with going to the playground instead of vacuuming my floor or doing my dishes. They'll wait until I've got nothing else to do. So it's that taking that time to be playful and learning that we need that balance in our life. Yes, we have to be productive. If I never cleaned my house, I wouldn't be able to get in the door. I wouldn't be able to enjoy the time I'm there. But I don't have to be cleaning my house 24/7. And the playfulness, when I go out and I play at the playground, or we go to the zoo, or we go to Heritage Park, and we stop for ice cream, whatever we do, that's stimulating me to bring up my creativity so that when I go home, I can do things in a different way and learn different things. So we need that balance. Yes, we need to have the serious time when we need to find the funds to pay our rent or put food on the table, but we need to take the time to encourage ourselves to being silly and childlike and just having a great time. So in Christian and Hasidic storytellers and masters, the Taoist sages, they encourage us not to take ourselves seriously. These prophets have had an important role in our spiritual life because they espouse those spiritual practices of play as an important role in our life. Even Ralph Waldo Emerson, quoted in Joy by Beverly Elaine Ains, wrote, "It is a happy talent to know how to play." So that's that talent that we sometimes forget how to do. When Hindus speak of creation of the universe, they don't call it the work of God. They call it the play of God. And when you think, again, going back to, who would create a horse with stripes? But somebody who's got a sense of humor. The zebra is just a horse with stripes. And you have to have a sense of humor to come up with that. But you'd notice little kids, when they're coloring, they don't color something with the color that you want it to. They'll color it whatever color they want. My daughter-in-law is a very good artist. She makes a career of it. And she paints with all different colors. Like her elephants are blue and pink and green and yellow. They've got all these colors in them. And one day I was sitting with her while she was painting. And she goes, "Oh, where's my picture? Where's my picture? My sketch?" So she picks up a black and white picture of an elephant. It's just this black and white picture. And she looks at it and she goes, oh, I knew I used the wrong shade of blue. And I'm looking at her and going, but Jessie, that's a black and white picture. And she just looked at me with a stunned look and she goes, well, I guess I see it different. I'm thinking, oh yeah, my grandchildren are going to be a lot of fun when they get to their painting because they don't see black and white. They're not going to see it. So playing is as sacred as music, or as that silence that you sit in when you're doing your meditation. Margaret Gunther in Toward Holy Ground wrote, when we play, we also celebrate holy uselessness. Like the calf frolicking in the meadow, we need no pretense or excuses. Work is productive. Play in its own disinterestedness and self-forgetting can be fruitful. When we're playing, we quite often forget who we think we're supposed to be, who we think we should be. When my kids were little, I thought I needed to be a strict online mother, that there was no room for play at bedtime. It's bedtime, you go to bed. I realize now that that was who I thought I should be. And with my grandchildren, it's completely different. I can see no reason why I would be that strict with my grandson. Let's go to bed. I don't want to. Well, I don't want to either, but let's go to bed. And the way he comes, it's not, we'll read a book or we'll play a game until we're tired. I didn't do that with my own children. So oneness, I lost my spot for a minute there. So when we play, we enjoy that fullness of life with its curiosities, its frivolities, its insensibilities. When we don't take ourselves too serious, someone say that it's like praying. You're letting go of that. Like prayer, laughter and play can be healing to the body, mind, and soul. Laughter and play are holy things. When we play, we leave behind the daily stressors and allow our spirit to breathe and to recreate. Humans are inherently playful. Again, you go back to the children. And it's most often easy to see that trait in the young children. The lightheartedness way they choose to interact with life is an indicator. You see a child walking down by a river. They're enthralled by the stones. And I don't know one little kid yet that can't resist picking up a stone and throwing it. As much as you tell them we don't throw rocks, they hurt people. They can't help it. They have to pick it up and they have to throw it in the water where it goes splash, and then they giggle and laugh. And as adults, we lose that. Children don't worry whether they're playing too much or if they should be working. Instead, they live fully in the present moment, allowing spirit to inspire them and create through them. Playfulness, creativity, and joy are all God qualities. And we can freely express these qualities in our daily lives without guilt or shame. I was in Kelowna and I was the special events coordinator and decorator. So for our Christmas program one year I was doing it, and I was putting all the attributes of spirit hanging in frames from the stage. And I got them all up and I thought, oh, they look gorgeous. And then Dr. Ken came out and he said, Val, where did you get those names from? I said, Ken, they're the attributes of spirit. Like, what do you say? Instead of life, I'd put laughter. Instead of power, I had put play. And he's just kind of looking at me like, you got it wrong. No, at that time I'm going, oh no, I got it wrong, I have to go change it. Now I'm thinking, I got it right, buddy. You got it wrong. We should be laughing, we should be playing, especially at Christmas when it's that time of year when you need to celebrate what's happening in your life. So science of mind teaches us that it's far more important to remember our oneness and to stay in that flow of spirit rather than to be looking at what we're producing, how hard we're working. And it's that stay in that connection, that flow of spirit, and we become human beings, not human doings. And it's important to pause each day to remember the truth of who we are. I know I do get caught up quite often in busy being a human being a human doing instead of a human being. Oh, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. Most of us don't play enough. We're either too busy, which is a code word that people use for workaholics use it because they're too busy, we're too serious. We mistake our earnestness for accomplishment. We're predictable, equating our free spiritness with irresponsibility. The best treatment for these conditions is to play, to lighten up. There's also the shadow side of play. Sometimes people get too involved in playing that they just forget that they have other things to do. But that's that balance thing again. So we need that balance again. So we practice play by doing things on the spur of the moment. Like my dancing was on the spur of the moment. I was going to go and listen to one set of music, and I was out of there. I wasn't going to dance. The girls are going, come on, dance. I'm going, no. Come, dance. No. Finally, I just jumped up and danced, and then I couldn't get off the floor. It was just, I would dance for like about 3 hours. It was awesome. But that's that spur of the moment that we don't often do. I'm doing my dishes. I can't go play. Like I said, your dishes will wait for you. They're not going anywhere. They can't get up out of the sink and walk away on you. So you do things on the spur of the moment. Take time out of your day to experiment in different parts of how to relax, how to play. Turn on a funny movie. Even, it was Dr. Patch Adams. There's the movie that they've made into a movie, and he was a real guy. And he learned that you could heal faster with laughter. If you're going through chemo or you're going through some other treatment, if you go and you listen to humor and you laugh and laugh and laugh, that they're finding that the treatments are working better when you add in that humor to it. And children, of course, when they're in the hospital, they're scared most of the time. They're away from their parents. And they find that getting them to play and to laugh and that they're feeling better about themselves. It releases those endorphins that can make you laugh at jokes, situations, and don't forget to laugh at yourself. There's a lot of people that don't know how to laugh at themselves. Laughter heals the body, mind, and soul. And by that, because of the oneness, by extension, we're healing the world when we laugh, when we have fun, when we play. Edward Vahone and Chris Michaels wrote a book called Prosperous Life. And it says, spend time with people who make you laugh. Do things that bring you joy. Go to a funny movie or a comedy club. Laughter isn't simply the best medicine. It's fuel for your soul. So you feed yourself. That's the best way to go. Being playful is what we do to stay in play, stay open, responsive, light, ready to engage or disengage at the moment it dictates, like playing with a puppy or a small child. A kind of reverse martial arts. It's the art of peace itself when you start playing. Playfulness is a practice that shapes our souls. It connects us. It's an active belief in ourselves and the vehicle whose wheels are powered by our faith in life, bringing us to that place of wonder and moments of joy. It's almost the last thing to leave us before we all leave forever. That was one thing my dad taught me. My dad was the biggest kid I knew. He never forgot how to be a kid. He was always playing practical jokes. He was always doing silly things. And he taught me that that was an important part. And although I forget it now and then, I always remember that my dad was the big kid and I should be remembering it. So the 3 questions here, or it comes out to more, but it's, what is something you used to love, but you set aside that for something more important? Something that you could just get wrapped yourself up in. Could you set time aside each day or week to participate in that activity again? Going back to the dancing, I love to dance. I quit dancing. Now I've done it again. I'm going, I can hardly wait to find someplace else to go dancing. It may just be my living room, but boy, oh boy, you can bet little Emery and I are going to be dancing around the living room now, him and Grandma, boogieing to Sharon, Lois, and Prom. It'll be fun. So do you believe that your value or worth is tied up into your productivity or what you do? what would it feel like to know that your inherent worth as a human being is regardless of what you do and what your productivity is, what work you do? And who is someone in your life that embodies that playfulness and fun? Just think about somebody that you know that sometimes you think they're too silly, they play too much instead of working too hard. But just think about them, and what's one thing you could admire about them? I know a lot of people that I think, and before I've judged them, oh, they need to settle down. Now I think, no, they don't. They need to be themselves. And I need to take some of that quality and just go with it. So our affirmation today is, take time to play with and as spirit. It's going to get you to just repeat that with me once. Take time today to play with and as spirit. Namaste. Tress is back.
Thank you, Val. That was great. I think she deserves another round of applause. I'm Reverend Tress, for those who don't know. And those who do know, I'm just saying it all over again. I'm Reverend Tress. Thank you for being here. And now I'm going to ask if you will join me in the prosperity treatment, which I do not have, so I know you will be able to read it together. Thank you. And we are prosperous because you've shown up today. And you who have shown up online whenever you choose to watch us, thank you. We are prosperous just by you being here and attending. But if you wish, you may also donate to this center. And there is a basket there if you wish to put it in. And you will notice there are always ways that you can contribute online through our Facebook. And now it's time for the closing treatment, but since I'm Reverend Tress, I'm not going to do it the way we're supposed to. And since we're supposed to play, I'm going down, down, down. I have the Reverend Gail. Reverend Gail, would you like to do a closing treatment for us? Okay. No disappointment, but still it's Reverend Gail. I would like a round of applause for Reverend Gail. Pretty special. Okay. I invite you to close your eyes, be right here, right now, and know that there is a divinity in all things. Know that part of that divinity is expressing and being who we are. And yes, that includes play. No matter what the age, no matter what the circumstances, there is always that giggle deep down inside of us. There is always that burst of life within us, for we are always one. We are always part of the divine expressing. And I ask you today to take time and honor the divinity within you, the greatness of who you are. And I also ask, as you look around the world today, to see and acknowledge the beauty of each human you see, and all of nature, and whatever you see, choose to see the divine in it. For all is good, All is right, all is perfect. And together we say, and so it is.